En propell for fremtiden.
Okay, welcome to NMK, and above me we can now see the world's most advanced offshore simulator, and we are going upstairs to have a look because we can now see how competence from the maritime is starting to be used for digital twins of societies. So also for the UN system. So we will go upstairs and have a look. So please follow me. Yeah.
So we are in the Norwegian Maritime Competence Center.
Yes, that's right.
And there's people on the move, I can feel.
Yes, and we also have a lot of simulators. Here we also have two simulators.
Yeah.
One very often used as a crane at a ship or an oil rig.
Oil rig simulators.
Over here you can see employee training by simulators working on ships. Okay.
Simulator training inside as they were in a ship.
We have so many simulators. I don't know the numbers, but think about 100, maybe 50. And it's from simple
Det-
one to very advanced one. And we can also
Cirka 50 simulatorer her. Det er en av de mest fremtidsretta sentrene for smart fremtidsbyer og hvordan vi kan håndtere teknologi for å skape.
The engineer told me it was not possible to hang this from the roof, but it was possible. You just have to ask the question in a different way. So I believe that everything is possible. It's about how to do it and when to do it. And I like to do it today, not tomorrow, because you are never the best if you are waiting, if you can do it today. So please come in.
Thank you. Tusen takk. Wow.
So I have to tell you one thing more, because this meeting was not planned, and that's the spirit in the house, on the campus and on NMK. If there is something exciting happening, we are helping each other every day. So it's like 2 minutes ago, I asked them, is it possible to have this presentation now? And it was possible. So, but they are running a course at the same time, but Björn will show you a little bit here.
Okay.
Må du snakke høyt, Bjørn?
Yep.
So what's going on here?
So you are now on a bridge. We will move into this boat you just saw here.
Yeah.
So normally you can sit here, control the boat. If you're an anchor handling simulator, you can control the bridge. But as we saw, we can also fly around here. So when we started up 16 years ago, spin-off from NTNU. At that time, we had game physics to have this up and running. Now we are real physics, make it possible for us to do virtual prototyping, brand new market. So and we can do like this. We can have augment things on this 3D world. So here you can see that we have an oil rig, and now we marked the safety area around the rig. So when we started to do this, people was a bit frustrated because you could do things as real as possible in a simulator, but to do more than real, that was not very good accepted. But if we go back again to the boat here, you can see you have a subsea element that is in the end of the crane. And if we go and fly closer to it, you can see that we have some colors on the wires. So you can see it is green color from the crane to the subsea element, and from the top of the subsea element there is red and yellow, depending on how it's moving in the wind and in the waves. So this is the tensions. You can see how much forces that is it is on the wires. If we go below the water, you can see it's getting quite dark. We can do like this, so you can see it's much more translucent, the water, or we can totally remove the water. Still, the boat is moving in the sea, so it's a massive multi-simulator that is happening now, because all the boats have different models for how it's moving, and all the wires and so also. And the nice thing now is when they're going
En oljerigg
you can see things that
som en sånn 360-simulering.
But Björn, then I have to say something, because what you are seeing now, when you're using the new technology, you can learn a captain that have used 30 years to understand how the wire and the pipeline behind the ship and going down to the sea bottom, how it works, how it's the real thing. I used 30 years, and here by 30 seconds you can learn it, and also a new student can learn it in 30 seconds instead of 30 years. And that's the future, and this way of working we would like to use for the new cities too. So it's very heavy equipment. Okay, Björn, then you can continue.
So this
Thank
is
you.
the Oscar installation. It's actually outside Trondheim. Here it's on 250 meters depth. It's size of half a football field. So it's 17 meters high. Normally you would put this into a ground fjord or into dry dock, but this was so big that the only way of training and finding the procedures of this was in a simulator. So we had 50 people here in half a year, and finding out how to do all the procedures and so.
Husk å gå live nå, tenk på hva du sier.
Yeah. So when they had done this training here, they was very happy because they was able to do the installation in 50 days shorter than normal. So we saved 25.
This is the globe, like in a 360 thing, and its images, videos is on the screen. Makes me very seasick to be here. Blir litt sjøsyk når jeg går underwater, under vann, opp igjen. So here you see the other way. And the city.
Normally you will build this boat and construct it and use it for some years, and then you will perhaps discover.
Så her det er et sånt hva heter det, tårn på en båt da, som er et sånt styrerom. Så kanskje dere blir sjøsyke, så var her.
Control the boat. You can go down into the small domes that we have below us here, control the long way, and then in just 1 or 2 hours you can go
Augmented reality, utvidet virkelighet. Så tekniske ting ligger da som en del fag, i tillegg til det som da er det maritime. Så får du da kontakt mot by, infrastruktur og målene da rundt bærekraftmålet. Dere ser da, her er Smart City-logo, og det som er den FN sin satsning.
And what you are seeing here in green is the power supply usage over 24 hours. So all the houses have meters that is measuring how much power you are using in the house. And if you should read this in a normal way with just numbers and text, you can have a big pile of papers and read it for a week and don't remember anything. But here you can see it's going up and it's getting red. It could be in the morning that Leo 1 is starting up, because we as a human are so good in treating big data as long as you have it visual. But treating it just as numbers and text, we are not so good in that.
So, and no, we really are talking about the future, because we have so many different kind of information we could put on top of a digital twin of a city. So it's about the history, it's about the future, and you can combine a lot of data, and then it's much easier to take the right decisions, because you can see the traffic jam, you can see about where people are living, where they are working, where they're going to school, where you have shopping mall, and how does all this have influence on each other?
Yeah. How do you think about this is a lot of smart, and it's obvious there's a lot of potential to save energy, but how do you go to cultures, and how do you build, like we speak about wisdom, going from smartness to wiseness, or how do you know this is a place or this is a culture people want to, or how do you think about that?
Yeah. Do you have solar? Could you put up the sun with the no, not that sun, the sun with the
Oh, yes.
yeah, where we have, because Ålesund kommune is the first city in Norway. If you look over here, and this is the first city in Norway that have a report from the UN. Where are we compared with the development according to the SDGs? And here we have a lot of information.
Yeah.
And it's about understand it, and it's about use it.
Yeah.
So Ålesund is the first city with a digital twin. This county will be the first county in the world with 21 cities or something. And my goal and my hope is that Norway will be the first country in the world that having this report. So far we can see three main things from Ålesund and from Norway, and it's about water and water consumption and the way of dealing with water, and it's about the health. The health is much better than we Norwegians think, comparing with the UN, and also it's about transport, where we are not good enough yet.
Yeah.
But I like to tell you a story about water, because my way of thinking was that in Ålesund we are the best in the world according to water, because we have Brustadvann, a big water supply, and I have clean water coming from my pipeline every day. So I thought, and we can produce green energy, we must be the best in the world. But if you are looking into the report, we can see we have 4 red one and 1 yellow and only 1 green. The green one, lucky me, is that we have pure clean water coming out of the pipeline. But the rest are not good. And on top of that, Kariaina Eik told me when I asked her, okay Kai, so far it's like 100 cities in the world that have been doing this.
Yeah.
And between all those 100, Ålesund is the worst. I thought it was the best. And that's why I think it's so important that someone from the outside are coming to meaning something about our system.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious, why are we not good enough according to water? Well, we have this big water, but what strategy have we to take care of it? It haven't been a strategy, because we took it as selvsagt. We
Obvious.
took it as obvious. No, we are starting to looking into that. And I have never thought about how much energy we are using to making the clean water clean before it's coming to my pipeline. We are using a lot of energy in the mountain to clean the clean water before it's going out to the pipeline. And also the pipeline from where we clean it and out to the people using it or to the business using it. We have about 40 up to between 35 and 40% leakage. And why haven't we done something with it? We have known it for years. In other countries, that's shame if you are not taking care of your water. We are not taking care of it, not a good way, because the pipeline are old. And also we have this
Sewage system.
Yes, sewage system, and it's leaking too. And we have not have a strategy, so the clean water and the dirty water are in the same digging hole. So then we could be combined, and then the water are not drinkable anymore.
I think.
And then the water are coming out at my house and other house. And before I was not thinking about how much water I was used. So when I brushed my teeth in the morning, the water was running the whole time. I used like 5% of it. The rest are going directly through. How big should we build the pipeline? How big should we build the cleaning factory? We could reduce or consume, but we have not think about it. So it's so much we can do very easy, just by changing the strategy and the mindness of people. So the most important part here, I have learned, the lesson I have learned so far, is how we are thinking. How are we thinking on a daily basis about water consume, about electricity, energy consume, about our garbage? We can change it if we are starting to talk about it and learning each other. And I have a story about how I have used this way of thinking into the business industry. Because I have a digging company, and now we have started to learn, the people running the digging machine, that it's possible to stop the machine each time you're going out of the cabin. In the old days, we didn't do that. So we have transformed the way of working. Before it was like 45% tomgangskjøring. The machine are running without using the fuel. And there are big pollution from the machine. Now we are down to 15%. And it's so big changes that the Volvo International took contact and asked, how have we done this? It's the mind of the people. And by reducing the CO2, we are also saving fuel. And also by saving hours running the machine, we are also saving service fee.
Yes.
And we can have the machine for 1 year extra. So it's saving. It's economic good to work with this.
So
but people have never done it because they're thinking the old way.
Yeah, or the old way. It's
do
a
you-
mind shift.
How do you get this potential out to the people? How do you communicate the potential of this lab that has taken 14 years, if I understood, to build?
We have just started, and a new thing is that Ålesund Kommune have started the lab that you will visit later today, and there where people are meeting and talking about their ideas, and that's how we also can use this fantastic simulator in new way. It's built for the ship industry, from the offshore industry, but we see it's possible to use it on land. How to plan a new city in new way, and we can simulate where to build a road, not a road, where to build a house, not to build a house, and do the society better for the future and for the kids of tomorrow. So, but we have to start this experience, and the most important thing is to starting where are we today? This is where we are today, and the UN are telling us where we are today. It's not ourselves telling us where we think we are. This is not where we think we are. This is where the UN think we are. Based on this 92
I think,
KPI.
Kai, if I like to ask a question again about water,
Yes.
and some countries in the world are also experience extreme flooding and rainstorms,
Yes.
and that is always the sewage system is mixing with the clean water. So in a city where it's like millions and millions and millions of people, how can we accelerate to assist in a transition like that? How people are really crying when they live in a high density area like Karachi, for example.
You
with
can have too
extremes.
much water, or you can have not enough
Yeah.
water.
So how can we accelerate the learning globally?
Yeah.
I can see.
When we are talking about this equipment, earlier when you have a new fantastic ship with new technology, it took like 5 years to innovate.
Yes.
Today you can come in here and test the new way of doing things today, not tomorrow, not in 5 years. You can do it today. Put together a ship in a new way and test it. And then you can immediately see if it was something good or something bad. And then you can immediately, 5 minutes after, you can have a new innovation.
Yes.
And a new innovation. And try it out. This is the spirit and the way we would like to think about the cities too.
Yes.
So I don't know the solution, but I know it's possible to simulate.
Absolutely.
And that's what we like to do.
The idea of what we can do is to use some of these old cruise ships, because that's a city with shopping malls and everything. It's a community of 5,000-6,000 people, even like a cruise ship. And you know that Bertola and myself, we were hijacking Tom Cruise yesterday evening.
Okay.
And
Nice.
he has his Mission Impossible.
Yes.
When
This is Mission Possible.
This is Mission Possible.
Mission Possible. You can come to
Yes.
us and we can simulate
Yes.
and we make it possible.
Yes. So we want to be more. We are challenging Tom Cruise to get on a Mission Possible.
Yes. And this is it.
This is it.
And it's together. It's not you and me. It's
No.
us together. And it's so important. And that's also something nice with this, because I think that one city can have experience learning and teaching other cities, and we are sharing in the business industry. If you have something very good, you would like to keep it a secret and earn as much money as possible, as long as possible.
Yes.
But here we can see we are sharing information between cities. So some maybe we can learn something from Moscow, and we are teaching Dubai something, or the other way. We are in this together,
Yes.
and that's why we can do so much on a long term.
Yeah.
And you also have this arena that you're building, the Northwest.
Yes,
or-
we are going there now. So but it's also in this building, and
so
it's the
that's
UN.
That's
Just-
the way to sort of take this potential and the data and intelligence
Yes.
out in a bigger picture and bigger context.
Yes. So, but the main thing is people meeting people with a different kind of background, and from the city, from the academia, and from the industry, and together we can think different, and we can solve much more.
Thank you.
And you have the campus
Tusen tack.
Ålesund so on the other side. So
Yeah, a campus. This is a part of Campus Ålesund. It's
yeah.
not there and us. It's all
Yeah.
together.
So you have the brain and the future
Yeah.
competence here.
Yes, we do.
Fantastisk. Tusen hjertelig takk.
Ikke det gøy, da? Ikke det bra? Halleluja! This is good. This is where it's happening.
Herlig.